Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to this special review for the brand new Robin McAuley solo album, Alive. That name sounds familiar to you. He comes from McAuley Schenker Group amongst a number of other things, most recently Black Swan. So making a huge comeback here, loving it on this. We're going to break down this whole album here in just a bit. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. And if you turn on notifications, you're going to stay up to date on really cool videos like this, where we're going to do a run through now and an unboxing for the brand new Robin McAuley Alive. So this just came out on Friday, February 17th of 2022, where we're reviewing this here. But I want to jump back a little bit to give you guys some context on him. Most people know him from the McAuley Schenker Group and not much else from that, but he got his start in a band called Grand Prix on their third album, Samurai, which is outstanding, coming in and replacing the original vocalist there, which I want to say is Bernie Shaw. But this was 1983. He does that. He moves on to McAuley Schenker, and I'm not pulling out all the albums, but my favorite one is this one here, the self-titled and or just called MSG. There, those two guys are on the back. Absolutely fantastic stuff, and that's where he really gets a rise in fame and so forth. But then after that, he doesn't do a whole lot, at least in the public eye. He does make a solo album called Business as Usual. It came out in 1999, Japan only. And I highly recommend this if you've never seen it before, but you're loving his recent stuff. You're going to like that. In 2001, he tries his hand as part of a supergroup in Elements of Friction, which is pretty good. Kind of run of the mill. It's got Ricky Phillips and a bunch of other cool people that are part of this. Another good one there. But when he comes back with Michael Schenker and Michael Schenker Fest, this first album here, but he had been doing tours and stuff where they were going out bringing back all the different MSG singers. And from that, he's had a whole second career now, where from that he forms the supergroup, or becomes part of, I should really say, Black Swan. They've now put out two albums which are absolutely outstanding. And so again, if you are into this here, we've got Reb Beach on this and Jeff Pilson and Mike Starr, but the vocals on this really stand out. So if you're a big fan of that, again, you're going to like this new album. And then he got a solo album, the first one released by Frontiers, post Black Swan and sort of his comeback, but as you know, this is now actually the second album that he's done. Same band that appears on here appears on this. So kind of the same thing. If you're digging this album here, you're going to like this. But I got to say, this one here is leaps and bounds above this one here. So we're here to talk about this, and that's the one we're going to be doing. And so as I said, this one here just smokes out of the gate. It is a blazing album. Now here's the crazy part. Robin McAuley is 70 years old, and for him to be able to be singing as good as he's doing, I just don't know how he does it. It's amazing. I hope this guy has lots of years left on him, because the vocal performance and the energy that he does is just absolutely outstanding. So the other members that are part of this, Andre Savesio, and again, I apologize if I butcher any of these names. I do the best I can with it, is the guitar player. And wow, the stuff that he's doing on this alone, I got to find out more about this guy, because I'm really liking the lead work that he does on this one. I think he puts it over the top. I mean, you've got McAuley Schenker, you've got great vocals. That's a given. But if you don't have amazing shredding guitar work on it, it's not going to live up to the rest of that. What I'm kind of point I'm trying to make on all of this is, I think if you've been a fan of Robin McAuley's at any point throughout his career, this is the album. And like I said, I wasn't as into this when it came out. It's kind of grown on me, but this one here is really putting it over the top. And yet it is actually the same band members as Standing on the Edge. So you've got that amazing guitar player. Now, a lot of people put this down or aren't giving it a chance, because we do have Alessandro Del Vecchio as part of this, bass and keyboards. That's what he does. Co-writes everything. And I will agree that a lot of what he does all sounds the same. Case in point, this album here had a much more sound like Journey, with our sort of rock and Journey stuff. And that's really where Alessandro Dovecchio shines, writing that kind of stuff he does. The Revolution Saint stuff that is supposed to be like that, and he does a lot of those other side projects and things. They did something here that shifted everything, and what they're writing actually now sounds more like Macaulay Schenker style stuff than that Journey sounding stuff. This is the album that should have come out after Black Swan, in my opinion. So we do have him on here, but I also want to point out that Robin McAuley co-writes on all of these. So it isn't songs written for him that he's just performing. This is his solo project. He is the one who's directing this and leading this. And we end up with something that's quite amazing. Initially, I was not a fan of the title of this thing because it comes off sounding like a live album. And unfortunately, I do think that that can turn people off. Oh, he's made a live album. I'm not really interested in that. I want a brand new studio album. So I don't really understand artists that call them things like this, alive. But it is the name of the first track that's on here, so I do get it. And when I first heard that song, it didn't do a lot for me. Sometimes you hear that single that gets released and it's a good song, but it's kind of just like, it's okay, you know, whatever. I like to wait until I get the album and really dive into it. And that's exactly what I've done here with this. Once I got this and put this on, the first 3 songs on this thing just blew my mind. Alive, Dead as a Bone, and Bless Me Father. I was just like, what is this? So I know some of you guys are saying you're not as into it, and that's totally cool. I would say give it a few more listens, because this here for me, while the singles didn't do it for me, once I got the album and listened to it. So I'm absolutely loving those first 3 tracks on here. The 4th track on here, Feel Like Hell, has a bit more of a modern feel to it when it starts, but then it settles into the straight ahead rock stuff that we all like. And that'd be the only one in here that I maybe don't like, but I'm kind of warming up to it. But I also want to point out track number 7, Fading Away. Oh, I love that song. That one there just grabs me, pulls me in, so good. And it's just one of those things. There's 11 tracks on here, start to finish. It's about 44, 45 minutes long, kind of right where it needs to be. It's not too long, it's not too short, and it gets repeated listens, I think, because it is such a good album that's not too long. I just start that thing right over on it. Let's take a quick look at this. I was already showing you the artwork a lot here. You know, somebody going in and grabbing and holding on and, you know, some electricity, but that's kind of the album. The album is very sparking and electric and on fire and so forth. So, you know, the album cover does come across really cool, and I dig that. And I love the track listing just going straight down like that. I kind of hate it when they run across, you know, left or right, that sort of a thing. So they're doing good. We open this thing up and we spin the disc around so you can see that properly. Here's what we get inside, and I'll pop out the disc now. You get really the same thing on the underside of it. Cool thing, we get some photos of Robin on the inside like the last one. I don't like albums that don't put photos in them, but they do. They've got them doing, you know, some cool electric style stuff, and you get all the lyrics and everything, and you get the band members and who wrote what and stuff in here, so that is very cool. But I do love those pictures of Robin. I think they did a nice job with the graphics. There's the guys if you want to pause on that and read that a little bit more. And the backside that we already saw. I kind of wish that was just a, you know, regular image, alternate album cover, like the front, sort of a thing like that. But either way, I have to say I'm really digging this. So bottom line on this thing, if I can't say it enough, run out and get this thing. It's got killer guitars on it. It's got Robin McAuley, need I say more as far as he is concerned. This album here, I really hope, you know, the Black Swan thing continues or whatnot, but if nothing else, he's got this upward trajectory, and I can't believe that at 70 years old that he is putting this thing over the top the way that he is. But he brought it home on this album here, and, you know, can't say anything more about it. So hopefully you guys are willing to give this a shot itself, and you can run out and check that out. It's out now at your local record stores, as well as, of course, streaming and whatnot. But definitely, if any of the singles or songs that you heard up front didn't grab you, try listening to the album all the way through. I think it is definitely worthwhile. And what kind of surprised me when I was pulling all this stuff out, and this isn't even everything, we've got a nice thing going here on all of these Robin McAuley albums and things of that nature, whereas he used to really not have a lot, and I kind of had to dig for it. Now he's been putting out a bunch of stuff, so you can be a full-on Robin McAuley fan pulling all this stuff out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Definitely leave your comments, let me know your thoughts on it, share this out, get the word out for Robin McAuley. That would be really cool, and of course it would help support my channel, so I would also greatly appreciate it. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.